Yeah, say job. We wake up divinely aligned, sing gratitude, cause you know I'm never late, dog. Just being arms divinely protected, we never looking down. These young MCs triple C, you know we got the young rolling with the angels and we riding two planes. Divinely protected, ascended masses on my side. Libra, how you guys doing out there? If you're a Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Progressed, this is your tarot card reading. If you have Libra and any other planetary placements as well, you can apply it in those areas as well if you know how to do so. If you don't have your natal chart, that's okay. Apply it to your sun sign. But look into your natal chart if you don't have it, and check out your big three, which is your sun, moon, ascendant. Obviously, when you get your natal chart, there's going to be a lot of other complex things that you probably don't understand when you're looking at it. But find your sun sign, your ascendant sign, which is your rising sign, and your moon sign. Your moon will let you be aware of the emotional circumstances situation you're going through, as well as bodily energies and maybe health like energies. Your sun sign talks about who you are as an individual and your career, business and career. I feel like um, kind of what you uphold and what you bring to the table. And your rising sign is really all about you. That is I feel like really deeply related to um, your identity and how others see you. So make sure you guys check those out as well. Your sun could be a reference to your identity as well. But when we're breaking down, a lot of times in astrology, when we're breaking down, people will say, yes, your rising sign is all about you. If you're into like astrology and stuff like that, breakdowns, you may hear some astrologers and stuff like that say your rising sign is all about you. That's because your rising sign too in astrology lays out your house system, guys. So when you're talking about in the terms of astrology, your rising sign lays your house system out, which lets you know exactly where energies play out in your life. That's why it's a deeper reference to who you are. But as far as tarot, I could say that the sun does represent you as an individual because the sun is our solar plexus. So esoterically speaking, we can identify ourselves with the sun sign as well, not just our rising sign. But your rising sign is in correspondence to your identity and how you appear to others. So those are all three great placements to be aware of. So if you're going to watch tarot, maybe check out your sun, moon, and your rising sign as well. Get a more holistic picture. We have the first card flying out, landing upside down here. Tapping into the collective energy before we get into our spread. Thank you for all my returning magicians here, helping the channel grow, commenting, doing all that good stuff. If you watch during the live premiere, you could possibly catch me there, and you'll be able to kind of conversate with me as well. If you're new, let me know where you're tuning in from. We have a global community here, and I love to see where everyone is tuning in from. We have the Seven of Cups coming in upside down here. We have another card coming out. Libra, your energy seems very clear right now, which I like. I don't think there's a lot of overthinking for you. Yeah, I see there's a lot of forward movement because we see the Chariot card coming out first. Chariot card coming out first, and the Seven of Cups upside down, which is very interesting because when you start to get into sevens, it can be very interesting. And I feel like the Seven of Cups is, Scorpio energy. It's understanding what opportunities are for you, what aren't. Some may be poisonous, some may be helpful, some may be supportive, some won't be, right? And it's understanding what really brings you a sense of fulfillment. I feel like though with the Seven of Cups upside down, because the seven deals with certain separation as well, separating from what no longer fulfills you and things of that nature. But I really do feel like with the Seven of Cups upside down, that's not a choice that you're thinking too deep about, right? I feel like here, Libra, maybe it might even be hard for you to kind of depict because you want to move forward. I see the Chariot here is forward movement, success, moving towards your success, what's really nurturing for you. But it may be difficult, like it may be hard for you to dive deep into your emotional self, emotional body, and really analyze for yourself, and really see the outcomes of where opportunities lead you. It may be hard for you to understand for yourself, okay, where is this relationship going to lead me? Maybe you're not that type of person. Maybe you're the type of person that experienced it and then says, okay, yeah, this is not for me. So I feel like it could be hard for you seeing the long run outcome of certain things that have to do with emotions, that has to do with personal fulfillment, which could be a little bit tough for you to understand where you're gonna get the road you're gonna walk down and where you're gonna get led, because it may seem a little difficult for you to kind of put yourself in a perspective to where you may understand, okay, where this is gonna lead me if I get invested into it, right? But I do see the Princess of Wands, so something's been manifesting based upon your actions, and you've been taking certain actions here, and you're seeing them manifest, and maybe this is maybe this is why you're in this upside down Seven of Cups energy, because maybe based upon the actions you've been taking, um I feel like based upon the actions you've been taking, very interesting. Give me 1 second, guys. Based upon the actions you've been taking and how you see this manifest, I think you're realizing, like, okay, I need to think a little bit more long term, where certain things could take me. Like, you may see something manifest, but it may not be the best manifestation that you want to see. You're probably like, why is this happening? Like, you're taking action towards certain things and then you're not getting like the desired result. But that's because I feel like you may not be looking at the long road or your emotional fulfillment. Like, how does this really make me feel, or where can this really lead me down the road? And what path is this really good for me type energy? I don't think you've been doing that. So I think you've been seeing things manifest that have been according to that, and it hasn't been so certain or even fulfilling for you. Because remember, we're manifesting 24/7 regardless of our intention. So if you're not intentional about it, you're going to be taking actions regardless, and that's what you're going to see manifest. So I think you got to be a little bit more intentional here, Libra, and understand where certain opportunities and certain relationships are going to lead you, right? And whether they're good for you or not. So you got to start tapping into your past experiences, like that Hierophant energy. I wouldn't be surprised if we see that card, but like that Hierophant energy, where you are learning from the past experiences, right? Because you got Devil energy, forward movement, Princess of Swords, Universe. Okay, so we have some good omens here. I don't want to dive into that too deep because there's a lot of underlying stories. We have some good omens here though, and I think that's what's putting you in this worry, because you're seeing things manifest. Maybe relationships that you do and they end up like toxic, and like they weren't for you at all. That's because you weren't tapping into your own sense of fulfillment and what really fulfills you, or where if something's really meant for you, right? So now it may be worried. Now you may be a little bit worried, and it may be disrupting or changing your foundation. You may be even doing that intentionally, changing, how you think practically towards certain things, right? Like, okay, this doesn't make sense, so I'm not going to do it. But you got to use more of that energy to kind of think about that before you take actions on certain things that you think are fulfilling. You got to ask if they really make sense for you to engage with or not. With the Chariot, we have the Universe card coming out again, which is nice. Two of Cups, love. So see how like look at the images. See the lady in the middle with the snake in the world, and then like the princess. See how like similar energies. So those are resonating with each other. Just the form of their body and the essence of the image. They're doing very similar things here. Um, but with the Chariot card and the Three of Swords, the sorrow, I think you're moving forward, and you this could have been you moving forward from a relationship here based upon it not having no longevity with the upside down Seven of Cups, and then at the bottom is a love connection. So I do feel like this is a relationship that you move forward from based upon it not being for you or not having longevity, right? And that's why it's showing itself upside down. So um, that's what's going on right now. The Chariot, Cancerian energy, you're learning how to nurture yourself. You're moving forward towards your own success and your own fulfillment. There's certain conversations that may have to be had if you didn't already have them, that may lead to some sort of separation and forward movement here. That'll kind of give you the confirmation that you need, that this is not something that's gonna last for the long haul. So there's a heartfelt conversation that needs to be had, or there could have been a lot of arguing as well. That's why you have been moving forward, and that's why there's no longevity, because mentally you guys can't really meet eye to eye. For some of you guys, this is just a more deep and intimate conversation about where your hearts are. Doesn't have to be arguing as well. But this does have to do with the love connection with the Two of Cups at the bottom here. And the Princess of Wands, I think you're seeing, I think you're taking the right actions. Now that I see the universe here at the bottom of that, kind of giving us that confirmation, I feel like the actions you've been taking, I think are putting a lot of eyes on you. And there's a lot to be seen by you, right? I feel like the universe is, I feel like a lot of people are watching you right now with the universe coming out. I think whatever you've been manifesting also is also being seen in the world. You get what I'm saying? Like, especially in position 6, I think a lot of people are paying attention to that here, to what you manifest. So you may have a lot of eyes on you right now based upon what you're manifesting. That's one thing that maybe, I don't know if you think that's good or bad, that we all are individuals in our own life, but I feel like you have a lot of eyes on you based upon the actions that you're taking here. So if I would give any advice, make sure you're taking the right actions that are true to you and in alignment to your own vision. And the eyes that you receive, I don't think you'll be bothered by it. I'm hearing stay protected from evil eye as well. If you're manifesting something that's, positive for yourself, watch out for evil eye, I'm hearing. Not all eyes watching you may be positive. I hear this separation or heartfelt conversation with a partner may have you a little bit worried as well, or even just the eyes of the people could have you worried. Devil card came out again. So we seen the underlying story when the 4 cards fell, these 2 were here. That's why I say, hey, if spirit wants it to be shown, it's going to pop out again. So that's that confirmation right there. The devil card, you're worried about something. And I think you're worried about some sort of foundation. But we have the Empress at the bottom. So I'm hearing trust your intuition and trust the power of and the energy of creation here. Especially with the Princess of Wands, a lot of fire energy is a creation. That's creativity. So don't underestimate the power of creativity, because that can bring you some sort of stability or foundation here. I'm hearing trust yourself, be a little bit more intuitive on how you want to take actions, and understand your position in the universe here, especially with the universe card coming out here. Understand your position in the universe and where you fulfill or where you are maybe of service, where you are creative in that field, and create some stability and foundation around it. I'm also hearing don't let your desires control you, but control your desires. If that's a message relating for you, maybe sexually and things of that nature, that could be maybe why you were worrying about certain things here, Libra. Maybe you're letting your desires get the best of you, and that doesn't have to be sexually. That could be anything, right? Letting material get the best of you, certain things of that nature. Excuse me, bless. Had to release. There may be certain things you have to release. I usually don't sneeze during a reading. That's significant. I don't have any sense burning or anything like that either. So there may be certain things you have to release. You have certain stagnant energies you have to move around a little bit. I hear you could be very worried about your foundation and your status. This could be a relationship status or just business, career, and things of that nature. You could be very worried about your job or career here. But I'm hearing it's time to take more power and control over your foundation, possibly through creativity, because that's what you're seeing manifest. So I'm hearing maybe try to utilize some of that creativity and expressing that to bring you a sense of stability in your foundation here, if you can do so. Be a little bit more practical with your creativity, right? If you're lacking foundational strength, maybe try to monetize some sort of creativity, where that can bring you foundation and you're able to do your creative endeavor, right? Things of that nature. Let's get into the spread here, Libra. Let's tap in. Just going to give this deck a handy dandy shuffle here. Probably no underlining stories, but Scorpio energy showing itself. There's some sort of positive transformation, some sort of transpersonal transformation is on the horizon for you, though, Libra. Could be dealing with the Scorpio as well. Could be thinking about a Scorpio. That person may help you transform in some way, shape, or form, or take power and control over your own personal transformation or your own status. If you know any Scorpios, if that's the case, maybe reach out, have a conversation. 4 of Wands complete. Okay. The actions you take, you're making sense of them. I'm hearing take the actions that make sense to and for you here. Okay, let's get into it, Libra. Hope you guys are all doing well out there, by the way. I hope you guys are ending off the week strong and heading into the weekend positively. Show me, Libra. Oof. The Fool card. I'm hearing don't be afraid to start. Don't be afraid to start fresh. Don't be afraid to be open-minded. Show me, Libra. Maybe a new beginning in some way, shape, or form. In whatever field you're in or whatever you're starting, there may be a new beginning here. Eight of Wands. I think you're doing this fast as well. This is going to come to you very quickly. Whether it's a vision, did that come out back? I guess that did come out backwards. So you have the Knight of Swords coming out backwards, because I was going to say my deck's not backwards right now. Very interesting. And then we had something come out backwards for you too. I don't get backwards cards too often, but when I do touch on them. I do touch on them in both ways as well, in case backwards may not resonate for some of you guys. But there's a message out there for someone talking about the backwards energy. So I do touch on it, right? Yeah, so there's something here that's happening quick. And it's happening within the mind. Could be analyzing a vision, right? Thinking about a plan for a vision that you have that you want to move forward with here. And before we get into the spread, I'm going to pull the mystery confirmation card from the Rider-Waite-Smith Tarot. Just comment down below, play a little game and test on intuition, and let's see what this card could be. We're going to be checking the mystery card out at the end of the reading, so make sure you guys stay tuned to the end, and we'll be seeing what the mystery card is. Okay. Beautiful. Bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, see, so you're moving forward with something, and I think it could be in connection with that mercurial energy. Something going on within your mind that you're moving forward with or taking action with very fast, and that could be an idea or a vision of how you can create a sense of stability here with that Knight of Pentacles. But with the Knight of Swords upside down coming out first within the past, very important. I think there was an idea you wanted to move forward with. Okay, yes. There was an idea that you wanted to move forward with the Knight of Swords, but you couldn't. Horn of Confirmation blows, but you couldn't. Something stopped you from moving forward with an idea, or even some form of communication, or even some of you guys may have wanted to separate from something that you couldn't separate from, or it was very hard to separate from. With the Three of Swords, we're seeing this card again. That's how we know we tap into the collective when we see repeating cards. Three of Swords. Yeah, this is for sure. I feel like a love connection, but it doesn't have to be. I'm seeing a lot of Earth as well, so this could have to do with business and career. But there was an idea you wanted to move forward with. Maybe this idea could have brought you a sense of foundation, or this was an idea that had to do with career, right? But you couldn't move forward with it, or you couldn't separate from something, some person, place, or thing in some way, shape, or form. But in your present energy, the Three of Swords, the sorrow, you're having certain heartfelt conversations, maybe because you couldn't move forward with this idea. And now it's very important for you to express that in order for you to create a sense of stability within your foundation, right? Because that's heavy on your heart. Maybe there was something that was heavy on your heart that you wanted to separate from, but you didn't have like the courage, or you couldn't do it just yet. That just then, maybe something externally was stopping you, or whatever the case may be. Maybe you're stopping yourself from doing it. But there was something emotionally that you were emotionally connected, whether it was a partner, a business, a career, something in life. It was very necessary to have this conversation for you to release this or separate from it, because it was causing I'm hearing an unhealthy attachment, right? I really do feel like this was a partner, a love connection. You have the Lovers here, Gemini energies. Could be a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, air energy. Could be Taurus as well. I feel like six ruled by Venus. Could be Taurus, or Libra. Like I said, Libra energy, air sign energy. But I feel this had to do with either you making a choice. But even then, I feel like if it's you making a choice, I think it was a choice to separate from a love connection or something that you love, appreciate, and value. It doesn't have to be a person. It could be a job, could be an object, could be a thing, whatever the case may be. But I feel like you made a choice to separate from something that was a hidden influence. Lovers, I feel like, dives into choices based upon where our heart is at. Right? For some of you guys, you made the choice to separate from some sort of love connection or what you emotionally connect to. That way you can move forward with this idea that you have to create a sense, to then create your foundation and move forward with this idea here. For some of you guys, it may be a little intimidating. It may be causing a little bit of worry, thinking if this is the right choice that you made, if this made sense for you, if this is actually going to help your foundation moving forward with this idea. Um, I'm feeling like this a relationship maybe held you back from moving forward with an idea, or you had an ideal relationship that didn't end up being that ideal. So you had to kind of make the choice to separate from it. And some sort of heartfelt conversations were had. Um, and I don't feel like it could be arguments. It doesn't have to be, like I mentioned before, like I touched on. It doesn't have to be arguments with a love partner or a love connection. But I feel like this is just a heartfelt conversation that had to be had, that maybe dealt with a little bit of separation, that could have been mentally, it was hard for you guys to merge mentally and to see things the same, ideals and things of that nature. Um, so I think you made the choice to move on from a love connection because that is a hidden influence. But I'm glad you had that conversation because things always have to be said in order for you to move on and progress, right? Don't be afraid to use your voice. Anyone who doesn't appreciate a real conversation and use your voice is not for you. Anyone who doesn't want to hear you out is not for you. So be mindful of that as well. But I think this is causing a little bit of disruption and change within how you do things practically, even stemming to your foundation. But I think how you think about your foundation is changing, and that could be causing a little bit of worry based upon the separation. So maybe this was leaving a partner doing things for yourself, and now you're a little bit worried because you're on your own, and you're asking yourself, okay, how can I take care of myself? How can I have a foundation? How can I nurture, right? All these things. And it's causing a little bit of worry, right? It is going to cause a little bit of worry mentally when these times happen. But these are our strongest times, and in this time is when we find the most strength because we see the capabilities and possibilities that we have for ourselves, right? Um, Within position 5, I think you're very emotionally connected to your routine right now. I think this change has you focused and dialed down Virgo energy to your routine and how you maintain. I think you're working on your structure, you're working on your stability, you're working on your mindset and what's practical to you, what makes sense for you to be invested in. And I feel like you're really working towards that. And this could be developing a new routine day to day to actually kind of bring you and take you the trajectory and the route you want to go and you see yourself doing, right? With the Queen of Wands. Um, Being able to receive in accordance to the vision, being able to take action in accordance to what you receive. And you're going to want to take action based upon it being in alignment to your vision and who you see yourself as in your routines, right? I think a new routine may be necessary based upon separating. Maybe if this was a love connection, right? When you separate from a partner, maybe it's time to change up certain things. When you're in connection with a partner, your routine starts to change. You start to consider them, and they start to consider you, and you start doing things as a team or as a unit, right? And I think once you separate from that, you gotta go back to your own routines. What really nurtures you, how to take care for yourself, and that's a very important part too, guys. Because even in relationships, um, I talk about this in coaching and things of that nature as well with some of my clients, and it's very important to understand that's a very big thing. Our routines do change when we partner with people, and it could change for the worse or it could change for the better. Make sure that your routine, if it's changing for someone or based upon someone coming into your life, make sure it's in alignment to who you are and want to be. Like you guys should have some similar things you can do. So when you're curating your routine, it's not throwing you off your routine. It's not throwing them off their routine. So when you guys are doing similar things to meet each other eye to eye, you understand that it's important for you guys to have routines that take care and nurture you, right? Each as individuals. Not throw each other off, not make each other overthink, or not be too busy for one and not enough time for others. Like it's important for you to develop healthy routines and allow that to be in alignment with who you are and what you see for yourself. A strong partner should be there for you and what you see for yourself, um, and vice versa, right? You're supporting each other, not, of course sometimes there's compromises that need to be done, but if you're compromising everything including your whole entire routine, especially that takes care of you and how you nurture yourself, then what is it really, right? How much are you willing to compromise to throw off your entire life? Right, that's a big thing. And it's important to understand that a lot of times you come first as an individual within a relationship. As when you join forces, you have to understand that you have to be good within yourself in order to join forces, because if you're not good within yourself and you don't have the things down packed to maintain your own well-being, how can you be there for someone else? And that's why I say this, because in order to be there and show up for someone else, you got to be there for yourself and showing up for yourself. And that involves routine, that involves your personal routine and how you stay strong, and how if I'm waking up at a certain time doing a certain thing when I get up, that keeps my mental strong. If I'm working out in the morning, that keeps my physical strong, right? And if my partner has to do certain things, let's say she has to let's say she has to do some other types of things in the morning, right? Maybe she has to go to work. Maybe she has to leave, need a lunch packed or whatever the case may be. Like maybe she has to do things in the morning, like her clothes and whatever, whatever the case may be. Um, what I'm doing can't affect what she has to do, right? And what she's doing can't affect what I have to do, especially if it's taking care of both of us and our well-being and our health. You see what I'm saying? Because if I'm jeopardizing my health to support her, how long will I last? And if she's jeopardizing her health to support me, how long will she last? Right? So these are and Libra, you're a sign ruled by Venus, so relationships are a very big factor, right? And I feel like it's easiest for same with Taurus, but it's easiest for you guys to get into relationships and compromise all that because you guys are ruled by relationship type energy, right? So it's very important for you to consider these things um, when we're getting invested with our partners and things of that nature, right? Because we all have certain routines and schedules to keep ourselves strong, and understanding how we can blend those to be in harmony with each other, so we can be the best versions of ourselves together, right? That way we have a strong unit. Um, so that's a very important thing. A lot of times we get into relationships and we want that person to compromise for us or do this for us. And what are we willing to do for them? And how are we really taking care of ourselves? And how does that take care of them if we're making them compromise so much, right? Um, of course, everything in life to get certain places may require certain sacrifices. Of course, understood. We all understand that, or maybe we should, but some don't. But that all should be understood, of course. And there comes a fine line where you can't jeopardize yourself. If you're sacrificing certain things to be with someone, that's fine, but don't jeopardize your well-being to do so, right? Don't jeopardize your mental health to do so. Like if there's certain negative habits that I got to get rid of to maybe make something stronger, then okay, I'm doing something, I'm separating from something for the better, for the cause of my own self, right? If you have a great routine and you're strong and whatever the case may be, and then you have to jeopardize all of that, and you can no longer work out, you can no longer meditate, you can no longer keep your spiritual practices, then who are you going to be? Because when you met that person, you were doing these things, and that's probably why they liked you in the first place. But now when you lose all that and you're not able to maintain that, where's it going to go, and who are you going to be? You're going to lose your sense of self over what? Very important. I'm not a relationship coach or anything like that. That's just personal advice and personal opinion. You could take it or leave it. That's okay. But it's just what goes on within the world, and I'm sure we can all relate with that. So this is very important with how others see you and how you emotionally connect to others. Um, so I think you're very focused on your routine right now. That way you can relate to others in the best way possible. I think there was some separation and some focus on alone time. So now you're spending a lot of time doing that, emotionally connected to your routine outside of yourself. So that way, I think others really see you as well, spending a lot of time on yourself and on your own personal structure, possibly your own health as well. For the Queen of Wands, position 6, what you need to pay attention to. Yeah, exactly. Pay attention to what you receive, the opportunities, and maybe relationships that come to you. Be mindful of how you take action on it. You need to pay attention on how you're taking action on certain relationships and certain opportunities that come to you. How you take actions on certain areas of fulfillment in your life. When you are fulfilled about something and you're emotionally high, emotionally driven towards it, how are you taking action on it? Make sure to not lose all your sight based upon how you feel. Make sure it still makes sense. Make sure it's not leading you on to something that's not what it is, right? Like do your due diligence on that. That's a very important message here. We have a cheetah here too. Cheetahs may be significant to you, Libra, or like leopards. You could have a pet as a guardian. That's a powerful spiritual omen as well. Could have some sort of sacred pet, maybe a cat, maybe a bigger cat, um, or just it could be a dog, whatever the case may be. But that's the spiritual significance for you. Could be telling you to get an animal if you don't have a pet. Um, but that's just a side message for some of you guys. But I think once you understand how you take action based upon what you receive, you're gonna find a little bit more balance in your routine and your stability, your finances here, because you're gonna understand not to take so much action, not to take certain actions on what you receive or how you feel, because you could take a lot of actions on how you feel and it could manifest for the worse, right? If you're not in a good vibration or if you don't feel good about something, and you take action on it, say if you take action on an angry emotion or a pitiful emotion, or a lack, you know, an emotion that you were in some sort of vibration of lack, that can manifest for the worst. So always remember, whatever actions we're going to take, it's going to manifest. So make sure it's in correspondence. I think your status is going to shape out a little bit better when you kind of when you take the actions that are in alignment to your vision, right? So whatever you receive, make sure it's in alignment to who you see yourself as, who you want to be, and the vision of your future. And that should dictate whether you should take action on it or not. And that's going to allow some more harmony within your foundation, some more balance within the mind, body, and spirit here. We're going to get into the mystery card here, Libra, before it gets too extensive. If you guys like a personal reading or extensive on this, hit the description below and you can walk through exactly how it's done. I only take readings through my email or my personal website. Always remember, this isn't one-on-one. This is collective. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. I see air right here, triple air, earth, fire. See a little bit of, no water. No water. Maybe the lovers, a little bit of water, connection, unity, Gemini, but, it's really air energy. So maybe we see some more water. I think you're not getting in your own way emotionally, which is good. I think your mind is what may be getting in your own way. There may need to be some separation from certain mindsets or thought forms that no longer serve you. Maybe the way you think about yourself or your own foundation here. Because I'm seeing the worry energy, especially with all this air. I'm not surprised I'm seeing the worry. I feel like when you separate from certain mindsets and maybe just certain ways of communicating, or dialoguing with individuals, I think there may be some individuals that you may need to separate from, that's causing this overthinking, right? With all this air energy, but you like mentally, it'd be best to get out of your own way. So the cultivation of other practices that can maybe help ground your mind and ground your thought forms will be a little bit more better for you, a little bit more helpful in the long run. But I feel like your water energy, your emotions aren't getting in your way. Maybe you need a little bit more water. For some of you guys, you need some more connection, some more fulfillment. Maybe you're not really fulfilled. So mentally, there's a lot of chatter. So that's some scenarios for both parties here. Maybe your balance, maybe your power card, but I feel like this could be a major because I don't see much majors here. But I'm feeling like I could see some more fire. Let's check it out. Ah, cups. 7 of Cups. I think we've seen that in the collective energy before the spread, right? Could have been. Unless that was for Aquarius, but could have been. Check that out. If it wasn't, and there could be some Aquarius stuff you should Aquarius reading you should check out. You guys are partnered anyway, so you could check that out, see if that resonates, if there's any messages for you there. Maybe you're dealing with an Aquarius. But exactly. So I feel like the water, since I didn't see no water, the water is kind of nice to see because we didn't see water here, right? So this shows us that the balance is here. We are emotionally connecting and seeing the outcomes of. This came out upside down, I think, for you. Yeah. So now this came to give me the confirmation. Let me know that you are looking at the outcomes of where things could be and where they will lead you in the future, right? And what's best for you, what's not. You see, some are desirable, some are fulfilling, some are illusions, right? Based upon what you gravitate to. And this could be a reference to your emotional states as well. Some emotional states you can take action on, but some emotional states, you shouldn't really take action towards because they're not going to lead you down something fulfilling. They'll manifest if for the worst. Sometimes the way we feel is really how we manifest. That's like the driving force. The thoughts are the direction, and the feeling is the attraction, what we bring in. A lot of times we act on those emotions. So a lot of emotions, I hear, when you act on them, they're not going to lead you to the best thing, right? It's understanding which emotions will lead you to the deepest amount of fulfillment, the most fulfillment here, right? And that's a very key thing, because when you have certain emotions, it's important to know which ones you should act on or not. Very important. There's also certain relationships and opportunities that you're looking at the outcomes before you get invested. You're looking at where they can lead you, and if this person's trying to snake you, if this person is trying to be there for you or not. You're looking at a lot of them before you take action with them or even communicate with them, or towards it. So it's a very very big thing for you, Libra. I thank you for tuning in, and as we close out here, I want to remind you that you're the most important part to Triple Three's Tarot. Thank you for tuning in, Libra. I appreciate you. Hope this brought you clarity. Comment down below. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Let me know what resonates. As always, I'm watching from afar, and I'm rooting for you. Namo Himalaya. 333. We out. Let's go.